Hello and welcome to the Economy This Week series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about important economic events which had happened in the past week, and this session is important for your GS 3 perspective. So I hope you all had a wonderful Holi, and with Holi exiting, prelims is incoming. And this is very much important examination. I am hoping that you all are preparing well for your examination, and you must prepare well for your examination. And all these sessions which we are covering in our daily programs are very much important for your prelims examination as well as mains examination. So at this point of time, those who are preparing for a prelims examination, do check all those topics and relate it with your prelims examination. So let's discuss today's session. So here we are going to discuss about the Trump tariff threats, then we are going to discuss about India slaps anti-dumping duty, and then we are going to discuss inflation, food inflation in terms of sugar and wheat. So moving towards to the discussion part, and our first topic is Trump tariff threats, and this is our news. Trump tariff threats may be good for India. Firms will be forced to raise standards, says ex-RBI deputy Viral Acharya. So this particular statement might have created lots of curiosity among you that how tariff threats can be useful for us. So this has been decoded by the Viral Acharya. So let's see what he has decoded. So Viral Acharya, who is a former deputy governor of Reserve Bank of India, had said that US President Donald Trump had threatened to hike tariff, and that could strengthen the Indian economy. So here we are going to decode his statement. So Acharya said that these tariffs will drive the government to lower trade barriers, spurring competition and growth, and greater competition means Indian firms will be forced to raise their standards to take on global rivals. That in turn means higher quality jobs and a larger manufacturing base. So what he says that because of this particular tariff threat, there will be more competency into Indian firms, and they will develop this tendency that they had to fight against the global rivals. So our productivity would increase, the competition would increase, and that will create more qualitative jobs. So what he says further, so how India will benefit. So Viral Acharya says that due to protectionist measures, many times we have seen that India had got benefit from it. And in a competitive market, companies should not be making fat margins unless they are the most efficient provider of that service or good. So Indian businesses, not just that big firms are capable of competing with the best globally, but that will require investments in efficiency and productivity unless we subject them to this competition. So here he is talking about the productivity, he is talking about the efficiency, he is talking about the investment, he is talking about the competition. And because of the tariff threat, the Indian firms will walk on to all these aspects and will become much better. So here he discusses more that what Trump tariffs has imposed. So there has been announcement that there will be a reciprocation of the tariff. So Viral Acharya said that we should not be threatened by it. We must take it in a very positive note. And here what we can see that India is expected to be among the worst affected due to a significant tariff gap of about 10 percentage point. And in response, India has already cut tariffs in February and is considering further reductions on cars, chemicals, electronics from the US Commerce Ministers. Piyush Goyal recently held talks, and Trump stated that India is prepared to make deeper tariff cuts to ease trade tensions. So we are planning that this particular tension which has aroused among India and US will be dealt in a very positive manners, and dignitaries and the people, authorities associated were talking that there must be some negotiation, but if there will be some threat also, we have to take in a very positive way, and we have to make our firms very competitive. ahead of this global rivals. So this is the news. Now we are going to discuss the second news, which is about the competition from foreign firms. So here this is an addition from the competition of foreign firms. This is an addition of the Trump's tariff threat only. So opening the economy to foreign firm brings direct competition, but also knowledge transfer through strategic partnership. And Indian firms will develop this tendency to more innovate. And to ease this transition, Acharya suggests phased tariff reductions with clear communication, allowing business to invest in efficiency, innovation, workforce upskilling, and private investment. Productivity and high skill job creation should be increased. So overall, if we'll talk what is the discussion of his whole statement, then we have to not feel threatened by the protectionist measures. We have to make what in pandemic time we have promoted Atmanirbhar Bharat and self independent country, we should not be dependent on others, and we should not feel threatened by the other countries' measures. So for that we need to invest more, we need to increase private investment, we need to work on the qualitative job creation, we need to work on the skill, and we have to up our skills. So these things will require, we have to develop this tendency to innovate more, and because of this kind of competition we are able to do that. So this is the whole conclusion of this discussion, that we have to find out the silver lining in every kind of the problem, especially in the economic situation. Now we are going to discuss about the India slaps anti-dumping duty, and this is the news. India slaps anti-dumping duty on water treatment chemical from China and Japan. So what happened that India has imposed an anti-dumping duty up to $986 per ton on trichloroisocyanuric acid from China and Japan for 5 years to protect domestic manufacturers from cheap imports. So here first we need to know that what is this isocyanuric acid. So isocyanuric acid used to treat water, especially it is used in the swimming pool. So this is that, and for this India has imposed anti-dumping duty on China and Japan. So this particular decision had been taken by Ministry of Finance on the recommendation from the Directorate General of Trade Remedies. Because these anti-dumping thing, because of the dumping, there has been a significant impact on the Indian products, and there is a material injury to India. So that's why India has imposed. Now we'll understand that what is this anti-dumping duty. So first we need to understand dumping. So suppose that we are creating one product, India is creating one product at 5 rupees and it is selling at 7 or 8 rupees. What does China and Japan is doing at this point of time, that they are making any product at 3 rupees and they are sending in India at 5 rupees. So this cost is lower than Indian products. For one product for Indian manufacturing we are paying 7 rupees, but for Chinese products and Japanese product we are paying 5 rupees. So the consumer will have this tendency that they will purchase this cheaper products. So this is called dumping, and on behalf of that, in response to that, India has imposed the anti-dumping duty on China and Japan. So here we'll understand that what is anti-dumping duty. So it is a measure, and this is a measure like this, taken to ensure fair trade and provide a level playing field for local industries. They do not aim to restrict imports or to raise product cost unfairly, and World Trade Organization allows countries to impose anti-dumping duty as a legal trade measure. So this particular confusion which we have, that is it legal? So this is a legal trade measure, and this has been mandated by the World Trade Organization, but only if proper investigation prove that dumping is taking place. The duties typically last for few years and can be reviewed or extended if necessary. For in case of China and Japan, India has imposed for the 5 years, and both China and Japan are key trading partners of India, and under WTO rules, countries can impose anti-dumping duties if domestic industries are harmed by the below cost imports. So why anti-dumping duty is necessary for us? because in order to boost our domestic manufacturing, in order to protect our own industries, we have to take such measures so that there will be no dumping, and we should protect the interest of the domestic manufacturers, and it will provide a boost to the domestic manufacturer. So this is the main motive of the anti-dumping duty, and this is legally traded by the World Trade Organization. Now we are going to discuss the why sugar and wheat are the main food inflation. So food inflation we had discussed a lot in our economy this week series also, and we had discussed in our in news, in focus, and in depth our daily programs also. So this is a very biggest concern we are battling through. So here we'll understand in terms of the wheat and sugar. So this is the time of the Rabi season, as you already know that, and especially the wheat, because wheats are still on the field and one can't be fully sure about the yields to be harvested. So here we'll understand, but the production concerns aren't confined to the wheat. Sugar is equally in a concerning situation. So here we'll take a case study of the sugar and wheat, that how we are expecting food inflation in terms of the sugar and wheat. So coming to the discussion part of the wheat, so how we are managing the stock. So this orange one is for the stocks and green one is for the procurement, and this is in lakh tons. So here we'll see 2016, and so what here we see that procurement is 229.62 lakh tons and stock is 145.38 lakh tons. So sometimes we can see here increasing, sometimes here we can see the decreasing. And if we'll see the data of 2024, so we have procured a lot, but our stock is very much limited, which is 75 lakh tons only. So here we'll have a data. India's wheat stocks before April 1 are higher than last year 75 lakh tons, easing concern. In 2023 and 4, aggressive 100.88 lakh tons open market sales before election lowered the stocks 16-year low, rising shortages. However, 266 lakh tons was procured, preventing a crisis. So this year, the government limited sales to 30 lakh tons, keeping March 1 stocks at 140 lakh tons, projected at 120 lakh tons by April 1. Instead of stock drawdowns, it imposed stocking limits to curb prices. So here what we can see that currently it is higher than our MSP. Our MSP is 2400 to 2450, but current price is 2950 to 3000 per quintal. This is for the wheat. Now we'll have another discussion related to the sugar. So if we'll talk about the temperature, so with higher wheat stocks than last year, the government faces less pressure to procure. Currently wheat prices are below the MSP. We had already discussed that MSP is around 2400 to 2900 to 3000. So here in Delhi we can see 2600 to 2650 in MP, and prices may ease as the new crop arrives from mid-March to early April. So reports indicate that bumper crop in central India, also MP's yield expected to be 15 to 20% higher than last year, and north and northwest India yields depend on the stable temperature, which remain favorable so far. So here we are expecting that this time we are procuring a lot, harvesting is done, so that there will be less shortage and there will be no much inflation in terms of the wheat. So if conditions hold, wheat inflation concern will ease, ensuring ample supply in mandis and government warehouses. So we are till now we are expecting that the temperature is also favorable. So we are expecting that there will be more ease in terms of the wheat. Now we are going to discuss about the sugar. So sugar not as sweet. So if we'll talk about the sugar production estimates of 2024 and 5, so it has been continuously revised downward. An initial projection of 293 lakh tons net output after ethanol diversion have dropped to 265 lakh tons, with some estimate as low as 255 lakh tons. So whatever we have estimated, we had procured less. So that has ceased the operation due to cane shortages. And here ex factory sugar prices have already risen to rupees 40.10 to rupees 41.10 kg in Uttar Pradesh, rupees 38 to 38.7 kg in Maharashtra. The government may impose stock limits or ease imports to stabilize prices. The shortfall is attributed to poor rainfall in Maharashtra and Karnataka, and disease pest issues in Uttar Pradesh. Also in Uttar Pradesh, Co-0238 sugarcane variety which were underestimated in initial forecast. So here what we can see that in terms of the wheat, we had expected that there will be more ease because of the MP's high yield. We are expecting that temperature is in our favor. Here also we are expecting that if there will be more rise in prices, then government must think about the import into this kind of things. Also, what are the reasons that why there is inflation in terms of sugar? Because of the temperature, because of the rainfall, because of the geographical condition. So these factors are responsible for such kind of inflation, but we are expecting that government might find some solution so that there will be much easing into this side. Now we are going to discuss the practice question for prelims. What is the primary reason for downward revision of India sugar production estimate for 2024 and 5? Increased ethanol diversion from sugarcane, pest and disease attacks on sugarcane in Uttar Pradesh, government imposed limits on sugar production, excessive rainfall damaging sugarcane crops. So this is very easy one. Then we can answer second one. Former US President Donald Trump, right now he is not former, he is the current US President Donald Trump has announced reciprocal tariff on imports starting from April 2nd, 2025. Which of the following statement is correct regarding its impact on India? India will benefit as its export to US will increase. India may be among the worst affected due to a wide tariff differential with the US. India has increased tariffs on US import to counter this policy. The US has exempted India from these tariffs. So here you can also answer. Then we'll come to the next question. India has imposed an anti-dumping duty on the import of which chemical from China and Japan? Potassium cyanide, trichloroisocyanuric acid, acetic acid, sodium hydroxide. This is very easy one. You can answer into the comment section. Also, Women Day has passed this week and we had a lot of discussion related to the women's empowerment, women's economic condition, women's job condition, women in labor participation, women as a workforce, women can generate income, women domestic works monetization. So all these topics which deals with the women's income, which deals with the economic condition of the women, which deals with the economic freedom of the women, which deals with the financial literacy with the women are very much important for examination. And we had covered a lot of topics which are women oriented, which talks about the women's financial literacy, which talks about the women's labor force participation, which talks about their contribution to the economy, their contribution to the GDP. We had already discussed about the gender budget. So do revise all these topics for your examination. There are chances that these kind of question can be asked in your examination. Also, we have seen this week that so many states had released their state budget. So do revise the state budget, those who are preparing for PCS examination, because there are data and schemes which has been written in the budget can be asked in your PCS examination, and there can be a question that is this particular scheme can be modeled into the union government, or union government can take inspiration from that. So we need to be very particular about all those schemes. So do revise that. So that's it for today's session. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask into the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.